man, this show's gonna be awesome, bro. This show's gonna be awesome.
Oh, hold on. Okay, Zetascopy, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Doing things a little bit different today. I have a guest coming in. I have two guests coming in, actually. Michael Zaragosa is coming in today, as well as Mandy Red. Both of them are Dallas, Texas natives and from Dallas, Texas. So I have some things to share with you guys. So there are things that I'm going to be changing up pretty soon. Once I get everything going, I will actually be going live on TikTok as well. And eventually what will be happening is you'll be seeing more of a behind the scenes type thing on that one. But today I am using my computer in order to be able to talk to everybody and get things going, because you should be able to see comments right over here in the bottom corner. And what I'm going to be doing, can you hit the power button on that, please? This is on off right in the middle. Thank you. Sorry about that. No, right in the middle. Yes. Thank you. Sorry about that. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me over the mic, over the sound of the stereo. So looks like, I don't know what keeps going on with the signal, but I may actually be switching back to using the phone. The reason why I'm using the laptop today is because I'm using a mic, and the mic attaches to this. However, does not attach to my phone. And so let me know if in the comments if you guys can hear me just fine. But I have a couple of updates for you guys. One of the first updates that I have is that the Texas School Board of Education did finally pass that. So let's see right here. So Texas School Board of Education votes to renew the American Indian Native Studies. Very super happy about that. That is awesome. So tribal community support, there was a lot of support for it, the Comanche tribe. And I'm actually very proud that, that I was able to help show support the way that I could. So the American Native course is supported by 5 Native nations, 10 Texas-based natives, culture and community groups, and 4 Texas Native colleges and graduate students from UNT, UT Arlington, TCU, and University of Texas. An average of 75 organizations have supported the American Indian Native Studies course renewal and adoption. So very big thanks to every one of you guys for your support. What is next coming up for it? So on June 27th, the Texas School Board of Education wanted to renew the American Indian Native Studies for another 5 years by partisan vote of 9-5 in the favor of renewing it. So shout out to Texas School Board of Education. It's coming up as well. So the next one is the course of standard resources. So what you guys can do is actually y'all can go to the Ethnic Studies of North Texas and go ahead and get some more information on your own. I'm just showing you this. This is actually directly from one of their posts. So now this is available for all school districts, and Texas offers study elective as of 2025. Students can select this as an elective graduation credit, okay, for taking this tour. Now, some things that are coming up next is that, let me go right here. We're trying to make it a permanent social studies elective in Texas. So it's more than just a history class. This is about how indigenous culture has influenced the United States. A lot of people don't know that, that democracy came from an indigenous concept. There have been scientists who have made breakthroughs. There have been athletes. There have been actors who have all, been forgotten, because every time I talk to somebody, they always seem to think that, indigenous people are something of the past, that, we still live in teepees and stuff like that. And that's just not true. So we want to make sure that we get out there, let everybody know that, hey, we are still here and we are still making waves. All right. So what's up next is support local and statewide adoption. So we want to make this a full, they want to make this a full elective that can be a social study course. So that way students can get credit for going to this course. So that way people can learn the true history of what happened rather than, what's being told and what's being told. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and, let's see, there we go. Scan the QR code. And I'm going to leave it up for a little bit so that way you can go ahead and sign the petition. So this is the next step that we are going for. This is going for permanent adoption by the state. All right. So I'll pause for a second. And moving on. That was a second. So thank you guys to here's a picture of the community leaders. I do have some interviews with a few of them that are coming up, and keep an eye out for that. That's going to be called We Are Still Here, and it's going to be going through their documentation of how they got it approved in the first place whenever it was first approved for 2 years, and moving on through to how they're trying to move to permanent adoption. It's going to include this section as well. I'm not sure how long it's going to be before it gets fully adopted by the Texas School Board of Education. However, that is something that you can go ahead and give them a follow. I'm definitely going to keep following up and giving updates on it. And I'm going to actually be working on that documentary that I mentioned called We Are Still Here, which follows their journey. So keep an eye out for that. I should have some teasers coming up soon. And I'm really excited for where it's going. There's a lot of miseducation here in the United States. And I'm very proud to be, that this is going on now, because when I was in high school, I actually had issues where they removed, I had taken a Blackfeet language class in Browning, Montana, where I was going to school at before. And they removed that from my language. So I had to learn Spanish at 1 and 2, which was kind of easy. And so I did Spanish 1 and 2 my senior year. They tried to hold me back a whole nother year, because I did take a Indigenous Social Studies class and Indigenous History class, which they also removed the credits for whenever I was going to Mansfield High School. And so I'm very proud that this has gone through, and I'm glad to see that the culture is moving forward. So thank you guys very much, and wish you guys success and more success coming forward from the schools. So uh, other things as well. So the show is also, supported by and sponsored by Water Pure Texas. All right. Thank you, Water Pure Texas, for making this episode possible. And we look forward to, a long, prosperous partnership. So you guys have a wonderful day. And also, if you guys, are having water issues, funny smells in the water, funny tastes in the water, you smell it whenever you're showering and it smells like chlorine, that's not normal. Give them a call. They'll be able to come out, do a free water test, and custom make your home filter. Not every filter is the same. Now, one thing that is actually an update, now offering under the sink filters. So they can actually be installed in apartments, whatnot. So that way it's hooked up to your cold water line. You're still getting the clean water for cleaning. Well, if you want to use it for cleaning, but you can drink from it. You can use it on the stove. Because if you're at the point where you're like, oh, I don't need a filter, but you're not willing to drink your city's tap water, yeah, you need a filter. You should be able to drink it safely, okay? So give them a call. Thank you guys for sponsoring it. And if you guys want to help out with the show as well, there is a Cash App. I'm going to put that right up here on the screen as well. You guys are more than welcome to donate it. Give me stars on Facebook, stuff like that. All of that stuff goes towards helping the show upgrade. And like I said, I have some other ones coming up pretty soon. You're gonna be able to watch these episodes live, but it's gonna be more of a behind the scenes type version on TikTok. So we will be going live there. I'm pretty excited about that. Now, this is how you can help me out. Second to take a screenshot. All right, second is up. And last of all, every single Friday, I actually go along and I am part of a group called Film Hub Fridays, presented by Dallas Film Hub. So I'm going to throw that up on the page. So every Friday we get together at 6 p.m. and we now work with other actors, other writers, some of the other directors, some cinematographers. They all show up. So SFX people, more than welcome to come through, showcase your skills. Know that it's going to be put up on YouTube. And we make YouTube short films, which are posted to IRM Films. So we go over there around 6. Sometimes we start filming at 7. Sometimes we start filming at 8. just depends on how things are going and what time. Sometimes we go over to businesses. So you'll see like Shrimp Doc has been featured as one of the companies that we've done a short film for. Gus's Chicken was represented not too long ago. We've done all sorts of things. So go ahead and be joining us for that. If you guys want to reach out, I'm going to put the number and the flyer up here because sometimes I go through and I do some of my interviews there that I post in the shorts. Now, it depends again if I like the way that the footage looks, because again, I'm upgrading my equipment and you guys will be here for that journey, okay? So this is the flyer for Dallas Film Hub. And y'all are more than welcome to take that number down. The number is 469-219-4620. And every single Friday we meet. All right. And we look forward to doing more work with you guys, as well as all the work that's coming from them. All right. So we are going to go ahead and start with our first guest here, which is Michael. And give me 1 second. I didn't have an intro video for you, brother. So I'm going to leave this up while I get things reset, okay?
All right, no problem.
And here's a water if you like.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. You got your mic on right up here? Cool.
Should be away from the interference.
Perfect. All right. So joining me today, you're more than welcome to keep it open and put up on your side if you like.
Okay. Awesome.
Don't worry. Usually I do like coffee or energy drink, stuff like that.
Yeah. Water's good.
For sure. All right, Nicole. So if you wouldn't mind, give us a quick introduction to who you are, what all you do in the industry.
All right. Well, my name is Michael Zaragosa. There's a camera right here.
Yes, sir.
And I go by a stage name Michael Mike. I'm a local comedian. I also do a little acting. Been in a couple short films, I guess. They were supposed to be a TV series, but didn't get really picked up because of writer's strike. But yeah,
familiar with that.
Held everything back. But I'm also a barber, actor, sing.
Nice, man. So what are some of the short films and where can people watch them?
It's called Ghost Trippers, like, Trip.
Oh, okay.
And you can see it on YouTube right now. The pilot is on there.
Nice.
And then I've been in called Glitch in the Matrix. That's also on there. And it's called Bury a Lover. It's coming out. So
nice, man. That is awesome.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the acting scene?
Man, about 2-3 years. I picked it up because I was, I'm a barber, so I was cutting hair, and then I had a friend of mine. She was doing right, and she needed a stand-in. But one of my favorite actors or influences is Jim Carrey. You know what I mean? They call him overactor, know, and then Eminem, because like the moment you own it, you get that opportunity, you better go as hard as you can, and seize the moment. So I did, and I just like blew them out the water, and then even replaced the guy with me. And yeah.
Nice, man. That's awesome how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I know that a lot of times, you just kind of fall into it by accident. A lot of times those are the best times of going to film.
Yeah.
It was kind of something similar for me. I didn't really want to do it. Somebody told me about Fast Foods. I didn't really want to do it. I turned it down multiple times. And then eventually, I went ahead and said yes. Yeah. And I did do it. And I got on there. And ever since then, I've been excited about acting.
Yeah, man.
And so
it's once that you got to flip that switch, once you get on there and just go as hard as you can.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry. I usually put this on. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you also did something before you got into acting, and before you. How long have you been doing barbering? Or were you barbering?
14.
14.
First picked up my pair of clippers. I was young and I always wanted a fresh cut. And growing up, we didn't have, the money to get a haircut every week.
Mm-hmm.
So one year, my pops was like, "Here, he gifted me a pair of clippers." And ever since then, man, I did a lot of pushbacks, edge ups back here. You know what I'm saying? Like permanent edge ups. You know, I was forced to know how to cut hair, and I was outside, people sweating. I'm like, I'm gonna get it straight. I'm gonna get it straight, and just digging in, man. You know what I mean? I had home buddies of mine. They were like, "Can you use a razor?" I was like, "Yeah, use a razor." And then I'm using the razor, and it's smooth. And like 2 days later, they bumping up, edge up bleeding. I was like, "Bro, that's still $5." No, man, I see them now, and they're like, I do designs and all kinds of competitions and stuff, and you guys are like, I mean, I get free. I'm like, well, just need more now.
You also did stand up, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
stand up. Yeah, I opened up for Tom Arnold.
Okay.
Tom Arnold?
Yeah.
I've opened up for him twice in Atlanta and Houston. Paul Rodriguez, you know, and that one was one of my favorite. Now, none against you know, it was just venue was unbelievable, like over 1,000 people, like, you know, like the biggest night ever. And it was 4 shows, 2 nights, and I've opened up for like Matt Golightly, that's Fuffy's protege. You know, a couple other big names from Texas, and like, but yeah, man, and that's pretty like.
Now, how did you get into doing stand up?
Well, you know, being in the barbershop, we all cut up, you know, man's barbershop, you know what I mean, cut up, you know, but you have all day to make joke, you know. Now everybody was always like, man, you know, you should try doing stand up, and I'm like, never really listened to it. 2 of my like real good buddies was like, you know, he passed, but you know, my boy Trey, you know, my brother Trey, he was like, man, you need to go do stand up. I'm like, man, quit messing with like, dude, you know, his wife, my sis, you know, he's like, you think sis comes over here, wants to be in the shop with all these dudes? She comes over because she know you're gonna roast somebody. You know, I'm on like a master roaster. You know, I won a 3-hour marathon from first round to the end, and so I said, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and try it then, because he didn't like that. I trust his word. But I took a class to learn how to write, because you know it's a technique to be able to make someone laugh like every like 6 to 17 seconds. You know, and to make a punchline and back and like misdirection, it's like all kinds of, you know, it just it's been fun. I've traveled, and with the TV series, and I've been to Hollywood. You know, it was one thing like walking down Hollywood Boulevard and on the stars, and I got my producer and director like carrying my bags, and then like I'm on the phone with an interview going to a film festival that I'm filming in, you know, and I won 2 Best Supporting Actor awards on this.
Nice.
It was like, you know, it was crazy, man.
So where was those awards held at?
I'm sorry?
Whenever you did the best actor, those best supporting actors, right?
Yeah, best supporting actor. One was in Oklahoma, I believe, and the other one was like in Pennsylvania, Idaho, or something. Like it was far, you know. And I like we went to like over 40 some or 50 some different film festivals, and we got over like 40 awards for it, and like it was supposed to be I mean, it still is, you know what I mean? It's not off the table yet. It just, you know, you get a chance, check that out. Yeah. YouTube, Ghost Trippers,
Yeah, I'll definitely do that, because I do like to help promote actors and their careers and everything. And so, is there anywhere, because I know that one of the biggest things is funding. Is that one that where you guys are facing some of the issues as a funding department?
Yeah, we was, you know, I also do apparel. So I was able to make, you know, apparel for the film, right? And so we was able to, you know, get funding like that. And we was also, you know, throwing pitches, and man, we had some big names like attached to it. And then the damn writer strike, man, that, you know, threw a little wrench and everything. But, you know, my producer and director, they're still at it. You know, they got a couple more things that they're under their belt, and they're multi-award winners, you know, so that's cool.
Man, that sounds awesome. I definitely do want to check that out. And so probably later on tonight I'll actually
it's
like
it's like a parody of ghost hunting, you know, like, but I can't even explain it, man. You just, you're gonna have to watch it.
All right, definitely, I'm gonna definitely check that out. Since then, have you been in any other castings? Do you put any auditions out?
Yeah, I did. But I was really focused on this one. I put like all my chickens in a row on this one, and like, I mean, I've gotten offers from different directors, like, hey man, going to the film festivals, because they're usually like 5 days long, or like 3 to 5, and first day, you got actors and the producers, directors, film writers, but after like second or third day, it's just directors, producers, film script writers. And I was involved with them, so I was able to mingle with them. I met like a lot of big name actors and producers, and it was it's still a blessing, and they're still coming in. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So congratulations on all that, by the way.
Appreciate that.
How long were you? How did I ask you how long? Did I ask you how long you were a comedian for?
No, I think it's been like yeah, like maybe I say like 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, like 5, 6 years, I think. Yeah.
But especially you stand up in front of people.
Yeah. And one time, in one of the main, I just say the Addison Improv, I don't know if I say the name, but there was a big name up there, and I was blessed because like I said, I do hair. So he asked me to cut his hair. So I went to his hotel and I cut his hair and whatever. And then he said, "You want to get 5 minutes on stage?" I was like, "Well, yeah." But I was starstruck. It was like my first time, with a big name actor. I mean, a big name comedian. And, I was like, "Oh man, the glitz and glamour, And when I got on stage, I just like, I messed everything up. Like his apparel, his merch was on the bar stool, and I thought it would be funny. Like, whose is this, man? Get this out. And it was his, and like, so like I did a lot of learning off that one. Yeah, but it was.
As long as you learn something from it, because everything is a learning experience. We mess up, we accidentally burn ties we don't mean to, but as long as you learn something from it and you come back stronger,
Yeah.
And so that's what it's mainly about, is learning.
Yeah.
That's what I found out too. I've messed up several times too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only way, you don't ever get your loss until you give up. You know what I mean? Until then, it's all learning. You learn. You don't get it this way, hit a left, and you're gonna try this way, or not hit that right back again. And you basically gonna get it. Where there's a will, there's a way, and that's real.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, did you have to go through any training or anything whenever you became an actor, or into it?
So when they asked me to do this, my friend, right, to fill in, one of the cameramen was the producer, my now producer, to the one I won the awards on. He hit me up like out of the blue, like a week or two later. He's like, "Hey man, I got this part. Like, you interested?" I'm like, "Who is this calling my phone?" And he was like, "Man, I got your number from blah blah blah." And then I was the guy that he was, "Man, I have this role and you're perfect for it." I was like, "I bet," And so we did it. And one of the videographers is a videographer from Wolf of Wall Street. So he's like used to like doing all point at each other. And it's like, "Man, how much acting have you done? Like, how much work practice have you got?" I said, "Man, the only time I've ever really acted is when my mom used to chase me around the room, hitting me, and I'd fake cry, But then she only hit me more because I was bad at fake crying, It's like, I know you're not crying, So acting was bad, but when it was time to hit that switch, I just turned on, and took advantage of the situation,
Yeah. Now, would you say that you enjoy doing the stand-up more or the acting?
Man, I want to act like a stand-up comedian. like, no, man, I enjoy just being myself. And when on stage, I throw my own shows, so I make my rules, right? So usually it's a lot of vulgar, it's like the vulgar tour, but getting into the clean, trying to be able to hit every ear possible, and but acting too, it's all a sense of being able to express yourself, because my director, they gave me the ability to improv a little bit, like 8%, did improv a little bit. They were like, the next day, like, man, here's the script. You know, don't worry, just get the basic idea and then do you.
Mhm.
And so then I did that, you know, and so it's been able to it's been nice. Yeah.
That's man, that is actually really
Yeah.
cool. And yeah, the tough training as the one to show emotions, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's you know, when the serious gets serious, you know, I've done a lot of um self-seeking, you
Mhm.
know, and studied myself a lot, you know, my inner child, my feminine side, my masculine side, you know, so
Mhm.
I'm able to pull out everything out my hat, you
That's
know,
great, man.
because I know me, you
Mhm.
know what I mean, and I know, you know, how to get in touch with that. So if there's a crying scene, I know how to poke my eye and you know whatever, you know, or you know if it's about fun, then you do that too. You know?
Mhm. Nice. Yeah, for me, that's what I did a lot of, and so it's kind of funny because a few years back, I had to actually go through some tough times,
Mm.
and before then, I didn't really. I had a hard time, doing crying scenes because I just
Yeah,
couldn't feel that emotion there.
yeah,
But whenever I started to come to terms with all my stuff, and even a few years ago, my biological dad, he passed. I
mm.
got to be there for his last week, but it was a very emotional. So, what I was able to do was I was able to kind of tap into that a little bit later
Mhm.
on. So, I think of different times that I got to spend with him right at the end,
Mhm.
and the way he was, and because I didn't get to be there for most of it. When I was younger, I was angry at him. When I
Yeah.
was older, I wasn't angry, but I didn't really care to visit. And then it wasn't
Mhm.
until it came to the point to where he had brain cancer that I decided to go out there. And but other than that, before then, I had a hard time tapping sad emotions.
Mhm.
And so, drawing on personal experiences and all that uh, is how I tend to get into these different ones as well.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, it also seems like you had a very interesting upbringing as well too,
Yeah.
and so
Similar, you know.
very interesting lifestyle that you've come up from.
Mhm.
You know, uh, would you consider yourself more like a success story and another step in it, or?
Oh man, most definitely. You know, I'm from a place where you only end up one or two ways, you know.
Mhm.
And so luckily I was able to climb out of that and then even evolve and, you know, manifest everything that I have now, you know, by speaking it and then walking it. Um, I was very angry in my upbringing too. I hated everything. I was mad at the world. So I used that as an excuse to like just mess things up for myself, right?
Mhm.
And then when I got old enough to realize, you know, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, check myself, um, it got better, you know, and I started walking different, talking different, you know, people started seeing me different and it changed my aura, changed the energy around me, people that were around me. I started surrounding myself with like energy, you know, instead of just leeches, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like just, you know, aura suckers, you know,
Yeah.
and the drainers. And but I too recently had, you know, man, I was every week I had like 3 or 4 shows a week, you know what I mean, a weekend and then there was a situation that happened in my family and then like it just put everything to a halt, you know,
Mhm.
like going 100 miles an hour to a brick wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like now I'm still trying to climb out that too, you know, but
Mhm.
every day it's just like you gotta keep your feet planted and float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Man, that is actually very awesome. And it's good to see, uh, people come from difficult backgrounds and make something of themselves
Yeah.
because it brings hope to everybody else to be like, well, I'm in a bad situation. I didn't have a good upbringing. A lot of people try to use these excuses,
Mm-hmm.
but then,
That's exactly what they are, excuses. You
exactly.
know?
And you'll never be successful excuses. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's the thing is that I want to remind everybody that, hey, despite where you come from, that's not who you are.
Yeah.
And you have a choice to change the path that you're on and become successful.
Yeah.
I didn't have a great upbringing either. I could
Mm-hmm.
have easily used that as an excuse to hold myself back.
Mm-hmm.
For a little while I kind of did. However, for me, I've never really been that kind of person to be like, hey, I'm gonna hold this against somebody else because that
Mm-hmm.
traps me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's definitely good to see somebody else to be able to come out to. And
Yeah.
I've been coming across a lot of people who have had rough upbringings
yeah.
who've been able to turn their situation around. And so it's always something that's good to be an inspiration, you know?
Yeah. And see, that was one of the blessings when I, everything that I have, like the actor and everything, it's all for a reason, right?
Hmm.
Like I'm blessed with the gift of being able to cut hair. So I was able, when I was in the hood or whatever, in cutting hair, in the barbershops, and I had youngsters, even adults, sit in the chair and, they
Yeah.
were talking about this and that. It gave me the opportunity to just like spit in their ear a little bit, tell them my testimony, not necessarily preach to them, just, tell them that there is a different
Yeah.
way.
I apologize. I actually had
Yeah, yeah.
a better idea where I was like, you know what? I want to go ahead and sorry, I've
No,
been
you're
making a
good.
lot of changes to
Hey, that's how you do it.
my show.
Mhm,
And some of the ones that I've been doing are going to show a little bit more aspects from different sides. And so
mhm.
I was like, hey, that's a really good shot.
Yeah, yeah, I like
And
that.
so a lot of times what I like to do is I also like to, read comments whenever they come up. And so that's why I also have this part up right here because I like for the crowd to be interactive because
Mhm,
what this is about is it's not only about promoting you as an actor or entertainer, for people to get to know the guests that they see,
mhm,
because a lot of times you see somebody on the screen and you just think, hey, oh, they had it so good. Oh, they
mhm,
just got lucky.
mhm.
And in reality, what they don't know is that it's tough.
Oh man,
Everybody struggles.
it's a struggle every day. And I'm a single father as well. Like raising a little man.
Mhm.
Bigger than me, but pick your weight up, little dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, but he's very well mannered, and everybody always tells me, you got, he's yes or no sir, and I don't tell him to do that. He does it, he has a good heart,
That's awesome.
and he follows his way, like, he lives by the land as well,
Mhm.
and each one teach one, and like, I have him unschooled at the moment, and that's a legal thing in Texas,
Mhm.
to not like homeschool, just unschooled where you learn off the land,
Yeah.
and actual hands-on and everything, and he's a good kid, but just like anything, if I mess up, then he's, you know, in danger too or whatever, like,
Yeah.
so I gotta look out for him as well, and it is very much a struggle every day in different ways and aspects. And he's not my only kid, so
Mhm.
like,
No, I understand. Actually, I had my kids here earlier today. They're over there with their mom now.
okay, cool.
Uh, but I had them over and they stayed the night last night, and I enjoy spending time with my kids.
Yeah,
I love my kids very much,
yeah,
and you know, I want to make sure and be a good example for
yeah,
them as well.
yeah,
I have a little guy. He has anger tendency. My problem with anger whenever I
yeah,
was a kid.
yeah,
So
yeah,
uh, I want him to do a lot better. And I tell this to my kids all the time. Look, I'm a little bit harder on you just because I want you to be better than I am.
yeah, yeah,
I'm in a good spot where I've been getting to now. However, I want you to be past that. I want you to pass me.
yeah. And that's what everybody's always like, man, you got a little mini me, that's your kid, right? And they always tell me, you're your son, you're your father's son or whatever. And I always stop them like, no, because he's better than me. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? He has impulse. He can stop and hold it. You know what I mean? Like, he has anger, but he knows how to like calm down and like work it out. He teaches me stuff. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, yeah, he's 15 now. Yeah, he's my youngest boy.
and that is awesome.
Mm.
Now, I know we got a little personal there, and I
No, it's all
appreciate
good,
that because,
man.
like I said, I'd
Yeah,
like
yeah,
people
that's what
to
it's.
understand
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
because again, it's more than just where people see us on screen and see us and
mm,
all this other stuff. We
mm,
have histories too. We're
yeah,
people as well,
yeah.
and so, but I do want to bring it back a little bit.
Okay.
You said that you did apparel.
Yeah. And I was also supposed to be a 2023's San Antonio Film Festival designer.
Nice.
And yeah, but that was during that that little period where things weren't doing so good, so I
Hmm.
kind of missed out on that. But yeah, I do Loudmouth. Loudmouth Entertainment is my company, and so I got different logos and different little emblems or whatever, and then I do for ghost trippers and random other comedians or whatever.
Nice. Can people find your brand online?
Yeah. It's gonna be loudentertainment.live, or loudmouthent.live. And I mean, you can go on Instagram too, and Michael Mike Mike underscore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, that is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna check that out as well too.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
So,
I like to do all the like bright colors. I got different colors stuff, and it's not just I got an urban line. I got like a professional line. Got lingerie coming out.
nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I noticed your hat, man. Nice hat.
Yeah. Good old fedora.
That's what I like too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
my favorite hat.
Yeah. I had one of my ghost tripper hats on, and I asked on the way up here, I was like, "How does this one look?" They're like, "That one looks like you're a comedian. That one looks like you're a thug." I was like, "All right, I'm gonna put the comedian one on." It's just a ball cap, but it says ghost trippers on it. But I guess so, because I looked in the mirror, and when I did, I just did like the fade. I don't know why, it's just instinct, like. So I was like, "Yeah, don't wear that one."
Character keep
Yeah, I was like character and scene.
Man, that is awesome. And again, thank you for sharing that too. That was great. Do you have any upcoming bookings coming up or?
So I do, but you have to go online to my Instagram and catch it, only because they're like, not say pop up, but they're more like sort of private, but not.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get it more when you look online about it. Actually, certain names can say.
Okay, no, not a problem.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do too, is promote your social media as well, so that way you gain more followers too.
Yeah.
And now, a lot of things like with my show, a lot of people tend to watch the post part of it because it does go around and make its way around to different countries. And I did recently switch it up, so some people are a little confused because I was live every Wednesday. However, I got tired of competing with the churches.
You ain't gonna win, brother.
Unfortunately, my time's the same time as church time. And so I was like, let me move my day. Let me go to Thursday. You have people transitioning over to the new day. It's just get everybody catching up.
And they got like 9, 12, 3, 5. They all day. So
for sure, it kind of spreads it out throughout the time. So I'm like, you know what, Thursday, I could probably get a little bit more, because I even had a couple of guests. They were like, well, Wednesday doesn't work for me because I go to church. And I'm like, oh, that's right. It is that day.
I go to church too, but I don't do the Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Like he knows I'm praying, I'm talking to him. He knows, I have my personal, connection, and I have church every day. I have my faith, because there ain't no way I could be right here any other way. I've seen it with my own eyes. So
that's awesome, man. And like I said, you have a very good story for yours as well. And one day I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a book with your name on it.
I'm working on it. Actually, I'm working on it.
Nice. That is awesome, man. Now, do you have any other films that you're maybe working on coming up? Or?
I do, but I do not know the name of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to follow your social media pages.
Yeah, there's Bury a Lover and Bury a Lover for sure, and then there's 2 other ones, and I just don't got the name yet. Yeah.
Man, that is awesome. I'm excited to see what all comes out. I'm definitely wanting to check out the Ghost
Trippers, like Trip.
I try to put a little space in between, because whenever I say it as one word almost.
And
then it's a completely different movie. Probably.
Yeah, and then that's what everybody's like, Ghost. And I'm like, no, that's the parody coming. That's later. Get that a lot.
Nice. Now, if you like, because I do things with Dallas Film Hub as well, and every Friday we get together and shoot short films.
Oh, nice.
And we shoot them over there in Dallas.
Oh, nice.
And so, the director is a very good friend of mine. He was a rapper before. He was Doobie B.
Doobie B.
And he came out. He has a movie on Tubi called the Diamond Texter.
The Diamond Texter.
Mhm.
Nice.
And so definitely invite, come out, network with some other people,
Yeah, I would love to do it.
And we're trying to build a group all together because what we like to do is we actually refer other people to different acting jobs as well. They're like, hey, you actually fit something that I see. Come out here, come join us.
Yeah, well, like Will Bootman, he's my producer, and he's the multi-award winner, you know, and he's man one hell of a guy, man. He's really cool, like down to earth, really knows his stuff, you know. Yeah. So,
nice.
Will Bootman, yeah.
Okay. Well, shout out Will Bootman.
Yeah.
And so, but do you have any other shout outs that you like to give before we're going to wrap up your section?
You know, just everyone listening, everyone not listening, the energy, and with positive energy, you know, just keep you know, there's a couple like laws of the universe, you know what I mean? And it's like always keep a smile on your face, never walk with malice, you know, speak positivity into others as well as yourself. And number one, like never lie to yourself. You know, never lie to yourself, because if you can't tell yourself the full truth, like, you know, like just truth, you know, and there's power in that. Like if you can be honest, like just so true, nobody can tell you nothing because you already told yourself, you know. But if you have that little, oh, well, I'm gonna hit a corner and just lie about this, then you'll lie about anything. So, you know, just never lie to yourself. That's the number one law of the universe, man.
That's very good, man. And I believe in energy too, you know, and even my mom too, you know, one thing that she's always saying is energy perceives itself.
Oh yeah, you know,
and so
and you know the way everybody glows and shines in a certain way, you know, and you can see it as soon as you know, as soon as you see them, you'll see it. You know, and you can tell, you know, like dogs know. That's our sense. You know that, you know what I mean? You start growling at people. You know, I'm like your order. You know, like, you know, but you know, like energy attracts, and so you know, I just try to keep positive and smile on my face, even when times do get hard. You know, because you will always persevere. So
for sure. And one of my favorite models actually comes from a cartoon. You know, I think of myself like Dory, short memory and just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Sherman Willoughby. I remember. I speak well too, so.
Hey, so do I. How about that? Oh wait, I don't know. That's funny. Anyways, man, I appreciate your time. All right.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
And so I look forward to, you know, eventually I'm still building the show up.
Yeah, that's good.
And we're gonna have I'm still building up to a stage. I'm still working on that.
That's nice.
And you know, right at the end of the show, I would like to eventually have it to where I have a musician close out the show with a song.
Oh, man.
And working with DFW locals, DFW comedians, and actors, as well as, you know, again, musicians. You know, I love having everybody from entertainment in, because everybody sees the glory. They just don't see the hard work you put in.
Oh, man. It you know, and it takes a toll, not just on you, but your family as well.
For sure.
You know?
And so, but I appreciate it, and I look forward to having you back on again in the future.
You,
all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. And then
get my space. You oh, the mic. I knew that.
And so we thank you, Michael. That was awesome. Some great advice from a very awesome guy. So appreciate you, Mike. Hand it over today. And now my next guest, she actually doesn't need any introduction, but I'm going to do it anyways. Her name is Mandy Red. I met her on the Cowboy Cumbia tour. And so whenever they did the kickoff here in Fort Worth. And I'm very excited to introduce her to you, as well as show you I didn't upload it, did I? Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring her in. I did have something kind of teed up for her. However, I guess I forgot to upload it to the media. So if you don't mind taking a seat right here.
Hello.
And I have this as a secondary one. This is the main one right here. Mostly because the mics work to the laptop.
Okay. I brought this for you.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. That is awesome. Would you mind taking this for me, please? That is awesome. Actually, let me just show everybody real quick. And I love how that camera's the better one, but you know,
This one. Oh,
yeah, this one is the better camera.
I'm
Has
like,
better color on it. And so that's the one that's facing you, okay?
okay.
And so you could talk to either one of them. They're gonna hear us the same on both of them. Uh, but but anyways, that's why I have these mics right here because they're noise canceling. And I've been wanting to do it here. It's just this one right here, this port stopped working. So it wasn't able to record on there anymore. But anyways, please give us a quick introduction to who you are.
Yes, so I am Mandy Red. I am an independent recording artist based out of Dallas. Um, yeah,
Nice.
and whatever else you all want to know about me.
Now, how long have you been in music?
So music, I released my first single called Calentura in 2022. That was my first single. Before that, I was doing music, but more features on other artists, kind of just getting my toes wet and kind of seeing.
Everything to do, I think, because I know that even in acting, they tell us to start off in background, see if it's something that's for you, you know, see how it's ran, and that way you can figure out, you know, the path
Yeah.
that you want to take into it. And so that's very smart.
Yeah, that's kind of what I naturally did because it's something that I knew I wanted to do, but I knew I didn't know exactly how everything was working. So that was kind of my way of, putting myself around it
That's
and
awesome.
learning as
And
I went.
how would you explain your type of music?
Everybody always asks me that because I always consider myself not trying to put myself in a box. So I have like R&B, I have reggaeton. I want to do like some country. I have like Spanish pop, Spanish funk, cumbia. I have a little bit of everything.
Nice.
But I also like to blend just everything that I've come from. Like, for example, like the English and the Spanish. I want to make a track with like R&B and reggaeton. I have Pioneer Kisses that's kind of
Nice.
like a mixture of it. I like to just blend it all and make it like my own.
That's awesome because I know I've heard some of your music where you're singing and then it sounds like cumbia and then you're rapping in it and then it switches up. I'm like, hey, this is kind of cool. This is a like a fusion.
Yeah, the fusion most definitely could describe it in that way. I mean, if you look at my playlist has everything, every genre, all styles, fast, slow. It's just that's whatever mood I'm in, whatever my heart wants to do, that's what I'm gonna go with.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
What would you say is your inspiration?
My inspiration, I always say my dad's actually my first inspiration because my dad, he's a natural musician himself. He sings and he does the guitar. So growing up, I've always looked up to my dad, singing. And I used to always love hearing him. And he's actually the one who kind of taught me a lot of my more Latin roots, like Shakira and Thalia, kind of more of those type of styles. But yeah, I like Mariah. I like Ariana. It's like a fusion of like Whitney and Carol G and uh, Faith Hill. Like, it's all over the place.
That's awesome, and that seems to be where music is going now. Back in the day, there were like lines, you know, where you were rock or you liked rap or you liked cumbia. You know, there was these defined lines between music. However, I'm noticing now that it's becoming more of a, hey, you know, this is music. I'm not just a rapper. I'm not just a singer. I'm an artist.
Yes.
And so that's why I just kind of want to get your take on it, see what it was. And so, how did you come up with the with your name, which is Mandy Red?
Mandy Red, yes. So birth name is Amanda. That's so Mandy is just, the short for Amanda. My mom would call me Mandy growing up, so that's always been kind of like my happy place.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and went with Mandy. And red at the time, I started off modeling and I had red hair, so it just kind of went.
Oh, nice.
Mandy red. Recently, I've kind of discovered, some reasons of maybe why I've kind of stuck with them. But it's a little bit more deeper. But
You're more than welcome to explore that if you like.
yeah,
I'm no pressure though.
yeah,
But understand. As far as my color, I'm indigenous, so I lean towards red anyway. But
yeah.
red has always been more of mine, and it's more of a color thing. I've been in sales a long time, and so red was more leadership and the people tend to follow, especially so a color of power as well, and so. I love the representation. I love the representation that, especially in the indigenous culture, it represents the missing and murdered indigenous people as well, And so I've always been a fan of the color too. So whenever I saw your name, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And then I saw you on stage, and you were in red too. And I was like, hey, that's a great way to market yourself as well and to associate it like that. That's awesome.
Yes, most definitely. That is how I kind of started it off with the marketing part of it. It's just like you said, red is very, people are going to remember. So it was kind of a marketing strategy. But as I've been growing with the name, and recently, like you said, I've been actually learning a little bit of the indigenous part of the red. I've been learning a lot of more deeper reasons of probably why I've kind of been drawn to that red.
Oh, that is awesome.
So,
yeah. That's awesome. Now, you said that you started off in modeling?
Yes, I started off doing car show modeling, like lowriders and stuff like that. And also modeling for a lot of music artists that were local.
Okay.
So they'd hire me to be a model in their music video. So it's kind of like my way of learning the industry too.
That is awesome.
As we mentioned earlier. Yeah.
That's really cool. Now, how long were you a model before you got into music?
So I started modeling in 2014. I want to say I did my first song, which is called Set Free. I actually did that. I'm a feature on that with Just Beat. It's kind of like an EDM song. I think I did that one in 2015.
Nice.
So, but like I said, I just kind of started doing the features up until 2022. I was like, all right, I think I'm ready to like do my own. I kind of found my sound with it and all that, and I kind of took off just doing my own in 2020.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And then you actually recently got back from a concert down south, correct?
Yes. For 4th of July, we went out to South Padre Island for the Country Cumbia Tour. Shout out to Chris Detroit on that. He's out there watching.
He's out there watching somewhere, I'm sure. he'll see it later on, if anything.
Yes. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I did 4 of my songs that were on my EP. My EP Calentura. It's called Calentura. Nice. I performed Calentura. I did Atracción Letal, and I did Inconsistente, which is the corrido, and Eso Que, which is kind of like the pop funk.
Okay.
In Espanol.
Nice. That is awesome. I actually did see, came across some of yours because a lot of times whenever I make the ads, I have a hard time finding some of the independent artists on TikTok. And then I was able to find a lot of your songs on there. Yeah, that's where I was like, hey, that's actually really cool.
Yes,
and so I was checking it out on YouTube. And so I was like, oh, man, I hope I can find these on TikTok.
Yeah, so you were able to find them?
Yes.
Awesome.
And then I was able to find your page on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
Now, I did see on your profile that it said something about a TV show at one point. There was a host or something.
Yeah, I used to actually host for Dallas Latino TV, which is it was a local TV show, and it was with Dallas Latino Management. Shout out to Ralph, the promoter. They're actually moved to the new name is New Era TV.
Okay.
So yeah,
nice.
I was with them for a couple of years, probably like 5 years. I mean, I'm still with them with the promoting team and all that, but for the being a host for the TV show, it was about, I would say about 4 or 5 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's I've seen because I saw that on there, and I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna find out more about that. Part of a talent agency as well. Is that for your music or is that for modeling or?
The talent agency. I'm not sure if that's maybe not updated information. I'm not sure.
Okay, it probably could be.
Yeah, might be in the past. Maybe I need to update my page, but I'm not with a talent agency currently.
Okay. Whenever you were they able to? Because a lot of people have a conception that they increase the work for you, or else that you get started and that you have to find an agency rather than being independent. What do you like more?
Okay. Okay, so I think I know what you're talking about. So yeah, I work with two different ones. There's Borrado Promotions. They actually help book me, and also Shine Agency as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not exclusive with either one, but they do help book. And it takes a lot of the business side, because I also do my own along with my business partner as well. But as I've hired people to kind of do that for me, it is a lot of work just because there's a lot of the back and forth, and it is a huge help.
Nice. Now, do you do a lot of shows locally or do you travel around?
I would definitely say I've done both a little bit. I've obviously done Dallas, Fort Worth, Grand Prairie, Garland, here, local. As far as like traveling out, I've actually performed in New Mexico, which was actually really fun. I did the music awards in San Antonio about 2 years ago. Where else have I performed? Oklahoma. I've performed out in Oklahoma with Best of Show magazine. Shout out to them as well. Houston. I've gone out to Houston.
Nice.
Yeah. So here we're trying to grow and expand. So hopefully we can, get out worldwide. That's the goal.
Nice. And then you had your EP that just dropped.
Well, actually, this dropped in January.
In January?
Yes,
Okay.
it's called Calentura. It's an EP. It has 5 songs on there total.
Nice. Now, in your opinion, is it better dropping them as an EP or singles? Because I've heard both pros and cons of either one.
Yes. So I guess kind of with my strategy of, kind of learning as I've been going, I started doing the singles, by themselves, just to give them the attention, making the promo videos and kind of focusing on them. I kind of did that for like the first 3, and then I decided to do it as an EP, and I kind of added it on. I did notice that the numbers, they get taken over, so it kind of like helps to do it, individually. So in my opinion, I would say that's probably a better, way to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. And then you don't have to worry about putting out a whole album at one time,
Yeah,
right?
I am gonna put a whole album out here soon. I have a couple of more songs that are unreleased, so I want to put it together a whole album for everyone.
Now, are you on Spotify, or how can people find your music?
Yes, I'm everywhere: iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and it's just Mandy Red.
Okay.
Yes.
That is awesome. What about coming up? Do you have any shows coming up or
any shows? I'm supposed to be going out to Houston with Crystal Skies and Traviesa. We have a song called Maduro, so we're doing a kind of like a little promo tour for that. Y'all check that out.
Okay, awesome. Now, I did have one other question, and I apologize because I thought of it. I remembered it as we were kind of going along, but I saw that you did do a show recently in Dallas, and I believe those with them was there as well.
Yeah, that was meant, because I Magic, so to be able to actually, be the official opener for him, that was really, really cool. Yeah,
that is awesome. I guess who so far, who has been your favorite person that you've been able to sing with or open for or?
Oh, wow, I've actually opened for a lot of people. I've opened up for like Tum Tum. He's I don't know if he's from Dallas. That was pretty cool. DJ Kane from the Cumbia Kings, that's with the Country Cumbia tour. That was like a huge, like, yes.
No, he's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that is.
First time I met him was actually down in San Antonio. I was there for a media mixer with Lions Act Productions.
Oh yeah.
And he showed up and he did the music over there, and it was really cool. And then
Yay.
he was one of the judges for the monologue competition down there
Yes.
for another mixer that we did down there.
That's exciting.
And
That's so exciting.
I was actually very excited to meet him too.
Yes. Yeah, same. So we have kind of maybe something in the works, but I won't. I'll leave it at that.
Gonna have to follow her page to find
Yes.
out. No, I definitely do. I want to promoting your page, you as an artist as well. I think that you have the ability to make it super far as well. Have you considered? Because I know that you do a lot of Latino music and everything, but have you considered sending your music to also indigenous radios as well? Because I mean, here's the thing: is that we're all indigenous to this land here. It's all Turtle Island, That's what it was
Right.
originally called. So we're all indigenous.
Mhm.
And so I've had it. There was a gentleman who was from the Native American Entertainment Coalition, and let me know if he's on right now. Usually he'll comment whenever he watches, but he was also used to the Wednesdays, even though it's his idea to move to Thursdays. But anyways,
As we discussed earlier.
Yeah. Jose, that's out for you. But anyways, but he suggested it to the Southbound Twins, Detroit as well, to submit it out to these indigenous radio stations, because and there's also awards ceremonies that are put on by these same companies too.
Yeah.
And that could be a way to kind of grow your market outside of the area, and out to like we have different ones in California, Montana. And I think that would be a really good benefit to you as well.
Yeah, so you're putting me on some game right now, so I'm gonna have to get all that information. Yeah, this definitely. I'm always about growing and expanding. Sharing the art in my heart. So yeah,
For sure. You can definitely see the passion in your music, and so I think that's also a very good thing. I think that's why I enjoyed watching you sing. Enjoyed who was on tour the first time that I got to meet everybody.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, this is just a really good show. I want to see you guys grow.
Yes.
And so I saw something pretty interesting. Your necklace.
Yes. So they will be available to the public. Not yet, but soon here. They're still kind of discussing all that, all the details, but follow me at mandyred.com and mandyred.eradicancy on my socials, for updates and stuff.
All right, sounds good. Now, hopefully next time that we get together, I can go ahead and have you close out the show with a performance of your own, and I'll be able to put it all on stage and everything.
Yes. I heard you mentioning that to Michael, Mike, and
yeah, sometimes that happens.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah, so I'm gonna remove that one from the stage. Here we go. So the first one to actually do that was sorry. If that will close, actually.
Is it my microphone?
Yeah, that's going to be off. What it is it's probably picking up feedback from this camera right here. All right. It's still picking us up. That's the funny part. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and pay attention. So sometimes that happens with that one, and that's why I've been upgrading my equipment. And so I'm still making upgrades.
Yes.
And I'm actually talking to Dallas Film Hub about whenever I start doing the show that they'll be able to handle my production side for me.
That would be very helpful.
And I have a gentleman who actually has a his own little podcast station, and so that's also a next step for me as well.
Yes.
And networking, right?
Yes. Yes, most definitely.
But that's what I would like to do, because the first person to actually do that for me was DJ Kane. I had him on
Okay.
whenever I was pushing to Spotify. I had a different producer.
Yes.
He came on, and I was like, that's what I want to do eventually. He's like, let's go ahead and do it right now. He was in the studio, and he started to bring up his music, and he started singing. So I actually used that as my in credit.
Wow.
And so, but I want to do it whenever I have the capabilities. Now, one of the things that I do have planning, that I'm starting to plan right now, is I'm starting to get some things put up. But I'll talk to you more about that after the show. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
good.
But keep an eye out for that. That's going to be some things that are coming up. Okay. Now, don't forget to go ahead and follow Mandy Red. I do appreciate you coming in. And
thank you for having me. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for sure. And I enjoy having both of y'all. It was really good. I don't want to take too much of you guys' time up, because I really respect you guys as well as I respect every one of my guests that come on, and everybody that I look up to, which I look forward to you guys. I mean, I think y'all can be a very, very big success. I look for to be watching you guys grow in your careers.
Yes.
And so let me see if there's any comments on. Not at the moment. And so, like I said, I'm transitioning to Thursdays. A lot of times I get more of my interaction after it's already posted.
Yes.
And so I will be posting onto the YouTube podcast as well. And I'll keep you guys updated with everything. I'll be cutting them into little shorts. And I still want to get you guys for some of the short interviews, as I do have a lot more people who watch the shorts, as well as the little short interviews, like what I do with the twins at Live Social.
Yes.
And so I want to put it somewhere in Dallas that's going to be a little bit more iconic or remembrance. And so there's sometimes where I go to the Acme Creation Labs in Dallas, and whenever I do that, I'd like to see if I get you guys out there.
Yes. Yeah, just let us know when. We'll be ready.
And then same as what I told Mike about Dallas Film Hub, you're welcome to come as well too.
Yes.
And so I know that Juby's a very welcoming guy. He wants to expand his network.
Yeah.
Because with Dallas Film Hub, the reason why he likes to do that is kind of like Adam Sandler or Taylor Sheridan. You see the same actors in a lot of their stuff. He has some big things coming this year, and he's going to be doing a lot of his casting out of the group.
Yes.
And so, he's been making big moves, and I'm excited to be a part of Dallas Film Hub, and I would like to extend that to y'all as well. Come in, get some work, get some networking done, get some screen stuff, because I use it for my reels.
Yes.
He uses a professional quality camera.
Yes.
And so very excited to work with him. So, and I hope to see you guys there as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for even inviting us to that. I'm definitely interested.
Sure. Now, one last time, what your social medias?
Yes, my social media is mandyred.eradicent. It's ERATIKENT. And mandyred.com is my website, and also my hashtag that I use is #MandyRedMusic.
And then, Mike, if you wouldn't mind, one more time, your social medias before we go. You can go ahead and take a seat over here, okay?
You can catch me at Michael Mike MICHAEL MIKE MIC _ on every platform, and see you there.
All right. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for joining me, and everybody who stuck through. You guys have a wonderful night. Get the Matson. Y'all have a good night.
Fuiste mal con mi corazón y ya ahora vienes a buscarme. Un día fuiste todo para mí y ya ahora no puedo ni verte.